Papua New Guinea has received billions of dollars in foreign aid over the years, yet many of its citizens continue to struggle with poor infrastructure, limited access to healthcare, and an education system that often fails to meet basic standards. Where is all this money going? Who is benefiting from it? And why does PNG remain one of the most underdeveloped nations in the Pacific despite these massive injections of funds? The flow of foreign aid to PNG. Papua New Guinea is one of the largest recipients of international aid in the Pacific region. Countries such as Australia, China, the United States, Japan, and New Zealand, along with global institutions like the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank, pump millions, sometimes billions, of dollars into PNG's development programs. According to recent reports, Australia alone contributes over 1.5 billion kina, $400 million annually to PNG's aid programs. The World Bank and Asian Development Bank provide loans and grants for infrastructure, health, and education projects. China has been investing heavily in PNG's roads, buildings, and energy sector through concessional loans and infrastructure deals. Despite these massive financial inflows, many rural communities still lack proper roads, schools remain overcrowded, and hospitals struggle with medicine shortages and understaffing. Where does the money go? A deep dive into PNG's public finance system reveals a troubling pattern of mismanagement, corruption, and lack of accountability. Ghost projects and misallocated funds. Reports from Transparency International PNG, TIPN, suggest that a significant portion of aid money is lost to corruption and political interference. Roads and bridges that appear in government project reports often don't exist in reality. For example, in 2023, an audit revealed that millions allocated for rural electrification projects were unaccounted for, with no infrastructure built to show for it. Middlemen and political elites benefiting. Government contracts for aid-funded projects are often awarded to politically connected companies that overcharge and underdeliver. Many foreign aid funds never directly reach local communities because they are filtered through multiple layers of government agencies, consultants, and contractors. Unfinished and poorly maintained infrastructure. Some projects are launched with great public fanfare but are abandoned midway. For example, the Lai Meidang Highway project, which was meant to be funded through aid and government partnerships, remains incomplete, leaving thousands of citizens without safe road access. Health and education struggles continue. The health sector in PNG remains in crisis, with major hospitals facing shortages of medicine and trained staff. In 2024, doctors at Port Moresby General Hospital staged protests over unpaid wages and lack of funding for medical supplies. Similarly, rural schools lack proper classrooms, teachers, and materials, despite government claims of funding improvements through international aid. What do experts say? According to Paul Barker, Executive Director of the Institute of National Affairs, the biggest challenge is transparency in how aid funds are used. We see a lot of money coming in, but little impact on the ground. Unless the government strengthens accountability mechanisms, aid money will continue to disappear. Transparency International PNG also highlights that many government audits are not publicly released, making it difficult for citizens to track how money is spent. The government's response. The PNG government often defends itself by blaming bureaucratic delays, capacity issues, and corruption at lower levels for the failures in service delivery. However, no high-ranking officials have been held accountable for missing or misused aid funds in recent years. Prime Minister James Marop has repeatedly stated that his administration is working on reforming the public sector and ensuring better oversight of aid programs. Yet, with every passing year, PNG's development indicators remain stagnant or decline. What needs to change to ensure that foreign aid truly benefits ordinary Papua New Guineans? Several key reforms are needed. Greater transparency in public audits. All foreign aid expenditures should be publicly disclosed, with independent audits released regularly. Stronger anti-corruption laws. Tougher penalties for officials involved in misusing aid funds. Community-driven projects. Aid funds should be directed to local communities rather than going through multiple layers of bureaucracy. International oversight. Donor countries should demand more accountability from the PNG government before providing further aid. Papua New Guinea does not suffer from a lack of aid, it suffers from a lack of accountability. The millions pouring into the country from foreign donors should have transformed the nation's roads, hospitals, and schools. Yet much of this money vanishes without making a difference to ordinary citizens. Until the government takes meaningful action against corruption and mismanagement, the people of PNG will continue to ask, where does the money go?